Legend in my own mind.
Hey, you're a legend. You're a legend. You bring us everything that's incredibly comfortable, and that's what we're getting here with BlanQuil. This was truly asked for by our customers. Our customers said, hey, we want a weighted blanket, but you know, we want a few bells and whistles with this weighted blanket. So BlanQuil said, no problem, we got you covered. We're gonna bring you the weighted blanket that you know and love. We're gonna give you gorgeous colors and beautiful quilting and machine wash and tumble dry. Everything that you need for convenience factor. 2 weights to choose from, a perfect size, so it's long enough to where your little toesies aren't gonna stick out. But there's also some other great features, and we'll talk to you about those as we go through the presentation here. Amy Scaglione is joining me today, decorating and style expert. And it's so interesting because now I'm just gonna have to say it, self-care expert.
You know what, listen, you know what, I have been practicing yoga for 20 years.
I know that.
Part of my life, you're a yogi too, but if you don't take care of yourself, who's gonna? And
that's right.
And
well,
I
how
came
can you
from
take
a mother
care of
who
everyone
never
else?
did anything for herself. She took care of 5 kids, oldest of 10, just a saint, literally. But we had to teach her, no, you have to take care of yourself.
And you know what, maybe it's taking 5 minutes a day to get a big old hug from your weighted blanket. Maybe that's all it is. But that 5 minutes is so crucial, because if you're not taking care of yourself, how can you fully take care of everybody else?
It's a tool, right? It's a tool in our arsenal of self-care, and there's lots of ways to do that.
Absolutely. Shall we go through colors?
Let's do it.
Okay, I don't want to get up.
Let me take it from here.
Just kidding, I'll help out a little. Here's the navy.
Navy, so this is beautiful, almost like a cobalt blue. This can be beautiful just for a decorative touch when you fold this up at the end of the bed too.
Perfect. Next to that is the charcoal.
Charcoal, we're gonna see a lighter gray as we move down. This is gonna be about 2 shades darker, really pretty.
And then we have the taupe.
Taupe, just a toasty, beautiful neutral.
Toasty, I like that. Toasty taupe. And then we have the gray, so that one is lighter than the charcoal.
Yeah, about 2 shades lighter, and I would call it like a dove gray.
Okay, so great value on this, of course, because it is our best value of the day, which is our QVC 2 big deal. These typically retail for about $169, and the other day I was actually out at a store with a door, and I saw one, and it was closer to the $169 price. To be honest with you, I don't even think it was as big as this one. Anywho, you're saving about $74 and change today, no matter which size you pick up. Excuse me, they're both the same size, no matter which weight you decide to pick up, 15 pounds or 20 pounds, and you have the 5 easy payments. So let's talk about why a weighted blanket, and then we'll get into maybe which weight you should pick up today.
Yep, so if you have weighted blankets in your mind because, gosh, I've seen those somewhere, I don't really get it, or gosh, it seems like I'm seeing them everywhere, or I'm listening to a podcast, or I saw them on TV, or I saw them in my Instagram feed, or at a spa or a yoga studio. It's not that they're new, it's that they're now more readily available to us, and then they gained a ton of popularity the past couple of years. But weighted blankets themselves are 20 years or more old in terms of being used regularly. They started out with therapists in therapeutic settings. That's where they really initially got their start. And then slowly, because many people found the benefits of them, it moved into home use, spa use, things like that.
When you think about it, that's such a natural progression because this is such an easy thing to just add into your everyday life.
Exactly, and it's one of those things when we use the term self-care or building a respite for yourself, building a sanctuary for yourself within your home, really what we're talking about is making a decision to take care of yourself. I'm not great at that either. I'm a mother of 3, I work a crazy schedule, I get it. I constantly feel like I'm taking care of everyone else. You have to find a way, if you can't go on a vacation, or you're not going to a fancy hotel, or you've never been to a spa, you can create that at home. Maybe it's starting with a weighted blanket, putting earbuds in and listening to positive, influential things or beautiful music. Maybe it's some beautiful essential oils, dimming the lights, lighting a candle. You can do all those things at home, and you can make that part of your ritual. Maybe it's prayer, maybe it's meditation. You can work this right in. So for some people, a weighted blanket is about a restful time, a napping time. For other people, it's about, I'm going to bed. This is part of my nightly routine every night, and I keep it on my bed. It might be a combination of both of those things.
Well, and isn't it nice that it comes in these beautiful colors for decor and for decorating? Now we have a choice of 15 pounds or 20 pounds, evenly distributed. So we're talking about a 5-pound difference here, but because it's evenly distributed of a 48 to 74 inch blanket, these are just merely a suggestion to get you started.
Exactly, so you're just gonna decide which weight is best for you, and what does that really mean? when weighted blankets were designed, they're designed to be about 8 to 15% of your body weight. If you're around 99 to 149-ish pounds, you might want to go with the 15. From 150 to 200 pounds and over, you could think about the 20 pound. That being said, this isn't a size chart. This is a
Right.
thought of, gosh,
This
you know,
is not a
terms of-
garment.
yeah, in terms of based on that ratio of weight, what might work for you. I always say as a caveat, if you have maybe some dexterity issues with lifting, if you feel like this is something you want to take up and down the stairs constantly, or you're gifting, maybe a 15 pound. I have both. I tend to use the 15 a lot, but I also use the 20 sometimes, so it's not set in stone. When we talk about the weighted blanket, though, we're not just talking about this pretty cover that
No,
you see.
even though it is beautiful.
Yeah, we're kind of
And
talking more
soft.
about what's on the inside, right? Because with everything in life, it's what's on the inside that
Good
counts,
point.
right?
Good point.
So
True yogi right there.
we're going to take a look at that. So the outside is going to feel super plush and lush. You're curled up, full
know.
body length. From your shoulder, where are your toes? You're down there.
My toes aren't even close to the end.
So
my
you're
toes are
completely covered, right?
right here. Can you guys see those? Oh,
So you're
Yeah,
so
I'm
you if
completely
you're
covered.
reclining on the sofa, if you're reclining in your recliner, or if you're on your bed, you're going to have that much coverage. So we're looking at a soft, plush, lush cover that's going to feel really great against the skin. But then the BlanQuil itself, the weighted blanket piece, is housed on the inside. So you're going to find a dyed to match hidden zipper that goes across the top of it. I'm going to get to the end here. Did I open it up for us? Yes. So we're going to unzip this, and then on the inside, you asked us to make the ties larger and a little stronger. So these are going to appear like a big oversized shoelace, really, and there'll be a loop. So across the top, you're going to find those ties and those loops. You're going to find them midway down on the side, and then you're going to find them on the bottom. This is spot clean, but this is your BlanQuil itself. So what comprises it? Each one of those squares are sort of like a mini weighted blanket, and what's inside each of those that are stitched down individually to keep it from shifting is a very soft fill. That's going to be one layer, and then in the middle are going to be these beads, and then on the bottom of that, like a sandwich, another layer. So each one of those squares, this is what's housed in there, and then each of those squares make up your weighted blanket. So if you want to sleep just underneath your weighted blanket, which is here, I have the 15-pound one, I'm going to unroll that. This is what it'll look like, and it'll be dyed to match depending on the color.
so for
You're
example,
looking at charcoal.
if this is in the washing machine, but you still want to use your weighted blanket, then have at it.
Yeah, or if the seasons change, maybe you're thinking, well, I don't want to sleep under both pieces. I just prefer to sleep with this directly. I spritz mine with like a little fabric freshener and then I spot clean. You could do that. And a lot of times people will also say, so what's it going to feel like? Is it hot? Is always the big question. Weight and warmth are sort of two different things.
Right, because it could, I mean, we have a lot of blankets here that are very light and have like a warm fill.
Exactly. So what I like to compare them to, or what you'll typically hear, is that about like a mid-weight comforter.
Okay.
So if you're co-sleeping, that might mean that you only are sleeping under your weighted blanket and then you're putting the comforter over the both of the two of you. You'll figure that out when you get it home, but it's a removable
You know
cover.
what I love about all of this is that the decision just doesn't have to be too stressful. First of all, this is something that we want you to go ahead and just enjoy and relax.
Yeah.
And also relax knowing that you have until January 31st of next year to make your decision, because that's part of our holiday return. So if you're picking this up for yourself today as a self-care gift, that's a great idea. If you're picking this up today as Christmas gifts or Hanukkah gifts or birthday gifts, just know that you have until the end of January next year for anybody in your life to make that decision. Now, speaking of anybody in our life, who is this right for?
So I would say starting at about like teenage, my son's in college, he has one. Be thinking about college students, you know, that stress of test taking, they don't get the right amount of sleep. My son's in a tiny apartment in Brooklyn. You know, you're going through those changes as teens. They can make a great Hanukkah or Christmas gift. So that's going to be appropriate at that age. But then all the way up, are you a new mom or dad getting very little sleep? This can make an absolutely fantastic gift for that. And then maybe it's your grandparents. You know, are they struggling to sleep and they like to nap on the sofa or a recliner? My dad is turning 82, and I got him to try it out. My dad's 6'4", and when I came back in the house, he was sawing logs, and he didn't didn't know anything about a weighted blanket. So,
well, you know, it's interesting because I didn't realize that a weighted blanket could actually have plush fill in it. And this does. So you're getting the benefit of the weight and that hug that the weight gives you, but you're getting all the comfort of the plush.
and can I point something out that I wish I had pointed out earlier, and it sort of just dawned on me, because you don't have feel-o-vision at home or sound in terms of something that, what's it really going to sound like? There's no sound.
Oh yeah, no squeak.
So it's not, there's no, so the only.
There's no sand moving
no,
around.
No, so this isn't loud. So I also want to point
That's
out.
a really good point. I hadn't even thought about that.
Yeah,
We
it's
just have
not
such
gonna
high
be loud.
quality here at QVC. It is our best value of the day. That also means that it's an expiring offer and the price is going away. This is your opportunity to save over $74 today, and I'll just quickly show you that value before we jump in here. H217795 is the item number, 48 inches by 74, which means it's nice and long, so your little toes don't have to stick out and you can cover your full body. Retail value on this, about $169 and change. Your QVC 2 big deal price, significantly less than that. In fact, about $74 less. Easy Pay is fantastic. It's less than a $20 bill. So the bed that you're on right now is a full-size bed,
This
right?
is a full, and we saw that it basically covered the face of the bed. I'll show you that again. But what I also wanted to show you is we've been showing it kind of stretched out, right? Or looking perfect across the face of the bed. By no means is this intended to just be flat over your body, or that you have to use it
You
from
don't
head
have to
toe.
lay in Shavasana yoga. You can snuggle up.
Cocoon in, lay on your side, lay on your back. Wad it up.
Yeah.
Bring it up into any position that you like. Get your toes in there. I have boots on, but let me get it in there. Do your little mummy, right?
Yeah.
So create a little cocoon for yourself. Also, if you're co-sleeping, maybe you just want it over on your side and you have it all tucked in like this. There's no reason that it has to be flat. I just wanted you to understand that. But then in terms of size, when I hop up, I'm going to show you a little bit from a full bed perspective, though we intend this for a single person. This is how much coverage you're going to get. So it's nice and sizable, and then
long.
And if you have a king or a queen or a full bed, if we fold this back, it's just a really pretty looking, to glance in a room, you might think it's velvet, just a really pretty, what looks like a blanket.
I just love too, I mean, how the clean lines here, how sharp this looks at the end of the bed.
Finished beautifully.
Nobody has to know that this is your self-care secret, that this is your little therapy, that this is your moment, that this is your hug that you're getting. All they see is something that's beautiful and luxe, and for all they know, it's a gorgeous added design element to your room.
And that's what's nice, because I think oftentimes we buy things that have to be kind of tucked away, or that, you know, they're seasonal, or they're this or they're that. This is every season of the year. It has a removable cover. It looks attractive. It's a geometric quilted pattern. All of them are going to feature this same exact stitching detail. So doesn't matter what color you choose, you'll get the same pattern.
All right, so this is what we're calling the navy, but it is a beautiful cobalt blue.
Beautiful cobalt, and all the zippers will be dyed to match.
That's great.
So dyed to match zipper.
And easy to undo. You've got the actual BlanQuil on the inside here. I love the tie effect, and the tie also just helps keep it so evenly distributed, which is great because, of course, you know, if you may know a weighted blanket from back in the day, it's possible that maybe the weight had shifted into part of the blanket.
This will aid in that. And if you don't want that at all, and you just want to sleep directly under that weighted blanket, feel more than welcome to remove the cover completely.
Okay, perfect. So this is the navy. We're going to show you some uses of how to use this as well. I mean, think of this when you are sitting in your favorite recliner, and because it's so beautiful, maybe you go ahead and you just keep it out on that recliner. Oh, look at that.
Maybe you're
That looks
recovering.
great.
Maybe, you know, you're home recovering from something and you're sleeping in a chair, or, you know, maybe you are, like we do, have a lot of shift work. My Uncle Daryl was a long haul truck driver. People, you know, sleep in those cabs. Maybe this is something rolled up to keep there. Maybe new mom and dad, college student, or maybe you just have somebody in your life that's struggling, and you know they're struggling, but you don't want to, you know, overtly talk about it. Maybe it's just a gift that you send to them. What we're seeing here is your care. She's taking the weighted blanket out of the cover. There's a dyed to match zipper across the top. Unzip it. You're going to find ties just like shoelaces. Cross the top, on the side, on the bottom. You're going to untie them. Take your weighted blanket out and then wash and gently dry your cover. Good night.
I mean,
You do start to, the longer you're under it, here's the other thing. The longer you're under it, the more you start to see and feel the effect of sort of, for me, I start to talk a little bit slower.